Yes guys, welcome to your second of 3 videos of the day. Could actually be 4 and I was just thinking about it. But second of 3 at the most minimum. And I thought of this video idea through my head. And I thought, can we still win a trophy? And if we get top 4 and an FA Cup, let's just say, does this season count as a success? Or do we still want to see it as a failure because we aren't challenging for the title? I want to make it absolutely clear. The club breathed at the start of the season. The club came out and said, we want to secure top 4 again. We want to try and establish ourselves as a Champions League side before we make that next step to be a title challenger. So we're going to be basing off the club's expectations. Now, obviously, if we win a cup and if we get top 4, I see that as a success personally. But what about the wider picture? What happens if we don't get top 4 and if we get a trophy? Is that still a success or is that a failure? We'll be discussing all of that today. If you guys are going to enjoy, make sure you like, make sure you do subscribe, make sure you do have post notifications on for all of the uploads coming throughout the day. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the first one what I do want to discuss is if we get top 5, top 4 and the trophy, does that count as a successful season as there is a car playing copyright music? I think we'll be fine though. God forbid it's a car. But yeah, I think it still counts as a success for the most part because sure, we didn't make it far in the Champions League most likely because we probably will not be beating PSG without conceding 4-0, 3-0. And winning the FA Cup, getting top 4 in the Champions League is bare minimum. And I see it as a success based on the club's views. If you go to a channel like Eunice Talks Football, who I absolutely despise now by the way, or let's say a Joyce Benson football channel, their views is going to be this is a failure because we didn't challenge for the title, no matter if we win a trophy. The club never wanted or never expected a title challenge this season. That was for next season, 26-27. And of course, our fans want it to be...
Yeah. Well, you're listening to the song,
yeah.
that's why I left it off.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, as I was saying, right, obviously we want a fan base for, well, this is a failure because we aren't challenging for the title this season. Obviously our fans want this process to be quicker. Our fans want to go, we want to be challenging for the title in season out. However, we've not challenged for the title since 2016-2017, the season we won it. We haven't competed ever since, and in fact, the gap did get wider for the most part from that tenure. But because it's a new ownership, they're like, this fan base is like, we should be challenging for the title. However, even if we win cups, this fan base will still get toxic. But in my opinion, this season is a success if we win a trophy and if we can get top 4. Can we do both? 100%. If we judge our rotations better and not make 10 changes each game, for example, sure. If we make 4 or 5 changes here and there, we can get top 4. We can win a trophy. And I think this squad is good enough to get Champions League. And that is me being brutally honest. I think we are good enough to do that. So, yes, I think this squad can do it. And I think Rodinier is a good enough manager to do it. Next question is, if we don't get top 5, and if we win a trophy, what is this club's view of this season? I actually think they'll see it as a failure because we didn't get Champions League again, but we still won a trophy. But however, we won't be in the top competition, Champions League. But obviously we still got silverware, so will he stay beyond this season? I think he will. And it does come down to the question, is the squad good enough to win a trophy and get top 5 at the same time? Yes. Do I think we'll do it? Probably won't win a trophy. We'll probably win the Champions League. But obviously as fans, when we get asked, do you think this season will be a failure if we don't get top 5 but win the trophy? Mostly everyone will say yes. Next question is, what I'm going to answer myself is, if we get top 5 but don't win a trophy, what is this season viewed as? Tough question this, because I personally think if we don't win the trophy but get top 5, I still see it as a semi-success, but not a full success, because I wanted us to win the Carrow Cup. I wanted us to win a trophy. It's still possible. We can still win the FA Cup. We are in the quarterfinals and we could be in the semis, assuming we don't get beat by Port Vale. We can still win a cup. And I think this season is the best season for us to do. This season is the best season for us to do that. Rodinha has come in and showed his quality in cups when it comes to tactical understanding. And we've seen some really good performances in the Champions League. We've seen some really decent performances in the FA Cup. Sure, we weren't there, but they were definitely good enough to get past teams like Wrexham, to get past teams who we should be beating. And we've certainly done that, especially Hull. But I do think if we do get top 5 and don't win a trophy, I think it's a 50-50. I don't think it's a huge success of a season, but I don't think it's a huge failure. I think it's right down the middle. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. There will be a double upload tomorrow, as I want to do another one of these videos, but this time on the project, my updated view, and the changes I think we need to do to compete for the Premier League next season, and what I think will happen with the squad. And then you obviously got Football Roundup, which I know you guys love, so I'm going to keep supplying it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And peace!